Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're doing another seasonal championship. This time it's not domesticated, and yeah, we're in Dodges in S1 class, so yeah, some rear wheel drive, big engine, big power vehicles, though not necessarily cars that handle bad, as obviously they have the SRT Viper and the like, so yeah, should be a pretty fun series, championship even. It's going to be getting there in this cracking Alfa Romeo. Just set a pretty fast time on Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills recently.
Turn left.
So let's see what we're choosing from.
So, even though it's freezing out there, we've still got loads of people braving the weather to watch this seasonal. I don't suppose that has anything to do with you, does it?
Probably. So yeah, there's 3 Vipers that we get to choose from. The ACR, which is like the road version of a track car. The Viper SRT 10 ACR is basically, again, a road version of a track car, though it's probably, yeah, slightly less hardcore than the newer version. Handling wise, yeah, it's not as good, nor is it as good in terms of acceleration. And then we have the standard SRT Viper GTS, which is still one of the better, you know, supercars, modern muscle cars, whichever one you want to put it in terms of categories. And then the Challenger SRT Demon, which is the most powerful here. But as you can see, the worst handling, and yeah, not even the best in terms of acceleration, purely because it's got 840 horsepower going through those rear wheels, and it still weighs a hell of a lot as well. So yeah, far from the most controllable vehicle, but yeah, we're gonna get in a one of the Viper. Yeah, we're getting a track Viper. We'll get in the Challenger, and then we'll get in a normal Viper to split the fact that we've got 3 similar versions of one car to choose from. So yeah, this Viper ACR is great. Its handling and braking is superb. Acceleration is good. The acceleration is really rather good. Acceleration is really good. The launch is cracking, and the top speed is a little bit limited, purely because obviously it's got a giant rear spoiler, but yeah, it still should do pretty good with 645 horsepower and not much in the way of weight. It's also got bang on 50-50 weight distribution, so yeah, this is as good as this car pretty much can be, to be honest. So hopefully it'll do well. Also got one of the more unique sounding V10 engines. Compare the noise of this to a LFA or a Hurricane. They're completely different sounds from same size cylinders, same amount of cylinders in an engine. It's remarkable, really. Wish we had the original Viper though, purely because yeah, that was the originator, and it's still quite insane how little in the way of safety equipment that thing came with, despite having what, 450 horsepower with the same kind of size engine as this. Yeah, it was a mad car back in the mid-90s or whenever that came out. So yeah, I do really rather miss having the original car. Can't remember if we ever actually had the original car. I know we had the SRT 10 from the early 2000s. One that clocks and used on Top Gear to write out the Viper the name Viper in using tyre marks on old Top Gear. So yeah, I really would like that at some point back on a Forza game. lost out on our first place because of that one corner though for some reason. Oh well, second place is still decent. It's far from the worst position we could be in for our first race on this championship. And still gives us 16 points. But yeah, that Dodge Viper from 2008 is still a really fast car, even if it is, you know, 8 years older than the one we were in. We're also quicker than the 1999 Dodge Viper, the 1968 Dodge Dart, and a Dodge Durango. Surprised the Durango came in 5th, to be honest. I would have thought a Charger or even a Challenger would have been quicker than that. But yeah, nonetheless, let's get on to the second race. Right, so the 2016 Viper ACR gave us a solid start, so let's see what the Challenger SRT Demon can do now. Granted, handling and braking is worse than the ACR, and so is acceleration. Top speed is better, and launch isn't dramatically worse, but yeah, it's definitely an inferior car despite the additional horsepower and torque. But yeah, hopefully it'll do well, but I'm not massively confident about it, to be honest. This is pretty much a car made for going in a straight line. Everything else has been pretty much sacrificed for that. Hopefully not too much in the way of handling and braking to at least make it manageable. Basically the new version of that Dodge Dart that's in front of us, which is also pretty much just a dragster for the road. Might not initially have the best acceleration, but once it gets going, this really has quite a lot to prove in terms of what speed it can properly kick out. If you manage the power properly and, you know, are concentrating enough, you can make this car properly good in terms of drivability. Yeah, it's nowhere near as easy as that Dodge, the Viper was from before. Oh, definitely doing better than I thought we would be. Especially considering this is not the least complicated of point-to-point routes in terms of cornering. And corners is where this car's weakest. Well, luckily we seem to be up against mostly older, upgraded versions of cars on this championship, which is helpful because yeah, you can upgrade those classic 60s cars as much as you want, and they're not going to be anywhere near as consistent as a more modern vehicle. Even if they are going to be probably quicker. Well, they would have been if he hadn't hit the snowplow there. But there we go, we got a win. Somehow we got a win in this. Didn't get a win in the ACR, but nonetheless a win is a win, and yeah, that gives us the all-important 20 points. Giving us a 36 point draw alongside the Dodge Charger from 69. The Dodge Dart from 68 is in 3rd, a Challenger from 2015 is in 4th, and another Dodge Dart from 68 is in 5th. So yeah, still everything to play for, but nonetheless let's move on to the 3rd and final race. So a surprising win there with the Challenger SRT Demon, so let's see if we can seal this championship up with the SRT Viper GTS. Not the track version, obviously, but it's still got a reasonable amount of handling and braking. Slightly less in the way of braking than the Challenger, but more in terms of the way of handling. More in the way of in terms of acceleration and launch as well. And yeah, the top speed isn't all that bad really either, to be honest, because it doesn't have the big wing of the ACR. but then it doesn't have the ludicrous power of the Challenger. So it's somewhere in between, but quite close to the Challengers regardless. And I think it will make up for the lack of top speed in the fact that it's got better handling and braking as well. So, well, better handling anyway, and better acceleration. And the launch at the beginning will also help. So let's see what this can do. But this is still an impressive car, not even with, you know, out the track orientated aspects to it. And at the end of the day, the lack of a massive rear wing at the on the back, it makes this car better in terms of top speed as well. So it's more impressive in that regard. Pile up there. And at the end of the day, this still has that great sounding V10 engine. Even though on the whole it is a little bit more uncontrollable than its track orientated version. We're struggling to catch up to the top three here. Oh, that good corner did help. Damn it. Did we sneak ahead? Yeah, I think we just got... Oh, we didn't. Damn it. Well, that's not going to help, is it? Yeah, dropped back to second place after that race. Yeah, bit of a shame. We didn't really get up to the top three. And by the time we did, it was a little bit too late. That crash towards the beginning where 3 other AI vehicles and a traffic vehicle came into collision with one another really did slow us down. But yeah, regardless, it's a fun championship. You get to drive some of the more powerful Dodge vehicles out there, and yeah, I like them all pretty much, to be honest. Even the Challenger, which, you know, isn't the best handling or the best in terms of braking, but yeah, certainly it is intoxicating with its amount of power, torque and speed that it has on the go. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.